and that's the events. You're here, but I'm talking about the big events. Doug's eyes a while back, Doug Parker asked me, he said, Coach, how do you get so many of your team to go to the business, to Ambition and simulcast? And it's because it's real simple. I tell my team, if you're not registered for Ambition, do not call me to do a validation call. They're posing. I coached for 30 years. Every year I went to every coaching seminar I could go to. My assistants would say, you're going again? You dang right. Papa, my granddaddy told me one time, when you think you know everything, get a shovel and bury yourself. We're always trying to learn. The things you're going to get out of attending events is right there. You're going to stay focused. You're going to be made aware. Your level of belief is going to rise. You're going to realize you're on to something that's bigger than yourself and bigger than the people involved. There's great training that you're going to receive. And would it not be fair just in this right here that you've seen and met some people that are truly dedicated to why they're doing the business? You're going to see that at Ambition bigger than you've ever seen it. And for my friends from Texas, I want to say this. I was born in Beaumont. I was raised in Nacogdoches, and I've been in Tyler ever since, except for 3 years when I was off playing college ball in San Antonio. I'm a bred, raised, big as you can be Texan. And there's been many ambitions I've gone to that I've been very ashamed that we host this big event in Texas and there's more people from the north than there are from Texas. I think it's wrong. And I tell people all the time, if you can't be there but for a half a day, come for a half a day. If you can be there for the whole time, be there for the whole time. Coach, it costs too much dang money. Chris Atkinson, in front of all these people here, you gave me one of the best pieces of information back when I first started. I went up to all those guys at my first Ambition and I said, what did you do to get to where you're at? Give me that golden nugget. And I'm not going to go through what all of them told me, but he said this to me. He said, Coach, you got to spend money to make money. Spend money to make money. I'll show you why here in just a second. The atmosphere of the big events are special. There's inspiration. There's motivation. You stay up to date on the vision of where the company's going. Your net is your net worth. You're going to be around like-minded people. The top money earners are going to be there to share. And then I want to stop on this one because all those coaches conferences I went to, and we heard all the big-time coaches, Nike-sponsored, Converse-sponsored, Adidas-sponsored coaches from all the major colleges, NBA teams, and they'd sit up there on the dry erase board and they'd say, and I'd get some good ideas, but you know where I got my best ideas? In the hallways, in the lobbies, at the bar, at the restaurant, sitting outside the hotel. Chalk talk's what we call it. We sit up all hours of the night at Ambition doing this very thing. And then that other one is you're around our corporate staff. If you have never heard Jerry Thompson speak, hold on to your socks because your shoes will come off. You find out he's for real. Chris Chambliss, they want us to have success. They built this. Think about that, guys. Jerry could have taken this business and set it up traditionally, just like his dad did with 7-Eleven, right? And do you think for a second that he would not have had great success? You're silly if you think he would not have. He would have had tremendous success. He's given you and I an opportunity to be part of the largest shift of wealth, unconsciously paid for, last utility, all that stuff. And why do we sit back on our laurels because we had a long day at work? Guess what? At midnight, the day's going to be over with anyway. Take a few minutes to get to these events. Here's straight from our corporate staff, Kristen Legate, the difference of people who attend and those that not attend. Marketing consultants are 4 times more likely to promote to RC. All these have been tracked. 83% lift in earnings for our regional consultants. Boom, check this one. 97% lift to senior consultants in earnings. And everybody else is going to be there because they've already gone through all the strife. That is straight from our corporate office. Nothing beats a made-up mind. I challenge you, I implore you to do whatever's got to be done to be here. And I got to say this in my last 10 seconds. I'm sitting over here, and I've got all the admiration and respect for everybody who's here. But our friends that don't really speak English, that are over here doing what they got to do, y'all give them a hand for doing whatever it takes. Thank you.
Huh? What'd you say? Wow. Okay. All right. So if you haven't ever met senior consultant Eduardo Pena, everyone say hello, Eddie. So Eddie has volunteered his professional translation equipment for this event. So please give him a round of applause for that. You know, I can say, you know, when Chris always talks about people helping people, I mean, that's one of the ideal things that Eddie just came up and said, what can I do to help? Can this be of use to the group? And that's a perfect example, I mean, of how to bless and help other people. So get on your feet and give a round of applause for Chris Atkinson. Now, do you want the tough side or the soft side? Come on. They want it.
When I was 9 years old, I took my first drink. When I was 15, I went to jail for the first time. I spent more time in jail than most of you spent in high school. I went to jail 22 times. I went to 11 different treatment centers. Went to 6.5 years of college, and I don't even have an associate's degree. I had joined multiple network marketing companies and never made a penny. Was very unsuccessful in Mary Kay. I spent $1,500 on makeup. I joined EcoQuest and spent 350 times 5 on fans and never sold one of them. I found the travel business. I loved it so much I joined 3 companies and finally maxed out at $1,200 a month with a total organization of 400 people after 18 months. That's the best I'd ever done. I didn't know a thing about network marketing. Had a friend of mine that had joined me in the travel business and drove from Houston to Austin because there was a meeting there and he had one friend in Austin. So he went to that meeting and he comes back the next day and I see him and he's so excited. He says, oh my God, she joined on the spot because of the guy that was there that did the presentation. He was amazing. He gave me his business card and said, whenever I need help, all I do is call him. I said, who the hell does he think he is? You're on my team. I snatched that business card. I walked outside. I called that number. I said, is this S. Thompson like it says on the business card? He said, yes. I said, who the hell do you think you are? I said, I'm in this business alongside of you, and my friend came there last night, and I just started going off. He said, whoa, wait a second. He said, are you new to network marketing? I said, well, yeah. He said, well, why don't you come learn how to do the business? He said, I'm doing a training this weekend in Austin. Why don't you drive up? I said, well, can I bring some people with me? He said, yeah. So that was my first time to ever meet Steve Thompson. And so for the next 18 months, I drove to his house almost every weekend. And I would have a yellow notebook, and I would just have questions I would come up with during the week. And I would go to his house, and I would ask the questions. One time, Damien Pakacek was there, and I got upset. Didn't know Damien, but he was stealing my time. Right? That was my time. I was supposed to be there to learn and to listen. Over time, I realized that when more people are there, they had questions I'd never thought of. And I could learn even more. You see, it became an 18-month learning process that I soaked in and absorbed every single thing that I could. That whole time in all those other companies, I never spoke. I was asked once. It was a big meeting. There was like 6 people. So I was asked a few minutes before the meeting if I'd just go up and start the meeting. I said, absolutely. So I walked into the meeting. I saw the other 5 people, got nervous as heck, grabbed the chair on the side, turned it towards the wall, and had a seat. The guy had to walk up and introduce himself. He grabbed me afterwards by the collar of my neck and said, if you ever do that again, don't ever call me again. Matter of fact, I really don't even want to see you next week. So I started to learn to change. I started to understand that I actually knew nothing. I didn't know how to be it's not that I didn't know how to be a leader. I didn't know how to be a consultant. I didn't know how to build a business. So for that 18 months before Ambit, I did everything that I could to just let it all soak in. Let it all soak in. Let it all soak in. Over time, because of my past, I've learned a few things. I learned that God actually is in charge. Took me a long time, but I finally learned that He was. You know, for some of you, you just learn easily. You know, I mean, for some people, learning anything is easy. For me, it just never was that way. I just couldn't get a grasp of it. You know, like I said, 11 times in treatment, I just didn't get it the first time. How many of you, this is not your first training? You've been to many trainings before. Okay, we have something in common. Good. Because y'all just keep coming back. You didn't learn last time, so you're back again, right? I mean, listen, here needs to be some of the changes. Those of you that raised your hand, well, actually, all of you here. When this leadership group announces the next training, this room better not be big enough.